last 30 years, we've mostly relied on central banks to cut interest rates, to do things like you mentioned, QE, get very creative with policy as a way of trying to help economies rescue them from downturns and then support the recovery.
So there's no question it's become much more challenging. That has pushed investors further out along the risk spectrum, whether that be from treasuries to corporate bonds to high yield bonds to stocks when they might normally be in fixed income, and out to, in particular, new asset classes, private equity, infrastructure, very illiquid asset classes that we have to be careful as investment professionals that clients really understand the implications of those funds and what are the trade-offs that they're taking in an effort to achieve more returns. So CFA Institute 3 years ago did a research piece on the investment profession of the future, and it identified a number of significant trends that we thought would be here for really a reasonably long period of time. And you've rightly pointed out that lower interest rates and lower returns for longer is one of those key themes. Negative interest rates, which we wouldn't really even have imagined a year or two ago, have created really significant challenges for investors.
What people are beginning to understand is that central banks don't have the firepower to do that next time. That they've dropped interest rates to zero, near zero, and in some cases negative territory. That round after round after round of QE doesn't seem to be working, and that doing more of those things isn't going to help the economy when it most is in trouble, and that fiscal policy is going to have to step up and play that role. Government has a huge capacity to spend. It has, if you have the power of the purse, if you're the issuer of the currency, you have tremendous capacity to spend. The question is, how do you prioritize? Because you can't spend endlessly. There are limits, right? Eventually, you will run out of real resources to employ, and you'll create an inflation problem. So what you would want to do is have a sense of the amount of fiscal space that is available to you in your economy. Do you have 50 billion of fiscal space? Do you have 100 billion? Do you have $1 trillion? In the US, we probably have close to 500 billion or $1 trillion annually of fiscal space right now today. That is to say that the government could spend safely on infrastructure or healthcare or education and not need to raise taxes to prevent inflation.